And I didn't need to bring my phone, but I thought maybe I'll just bring it. I might want to play a game in the car on the way or something. So I did, and as I was loading up the horses, it fell out of my pocket, and I ran over it with an F-350 and a fully loaded horse trailer. And obviously when it happened, I was really upset because it was new and super expensive. But it kind of got me thinking about how often I bring my phone places where I don't actually need it, and probably to a pretty annoying extent, at least for my friends. I mean, how does it feel when you're having a conversation with someone and they pull out their phone and start going on it? But how many people can also admit to doing this at least some point within the last week? Because I know I can. I use my phone a lot, and obviously good things come with it. They're super useful, but there's also a lot of bad habits we have that come with it as well. Phones are incredibly deeply ingrained into our society. They double as our clocks, as our calendars, and as students, we use them to check our grades, email our teachers, call our parents, and share photos with our friends and our family, which is obviously super useful. But sometimes distracting apps get in the way of our productivity, and next thing you know, we're an hour deep into the Instagram Explore page the night before midterm. We use our phones too much. There was a study called Mobile Phone Use and Stress, Sleep Disturbances, and Symptoms of Depression Among Young Adults, done by Swedish scientists, that showed that large phone usage was linked to sleep deprivation, stress, lower GPA, and depression in young adults. Constantly being accessible by phone, feeling the need to update friends and family on your location at all times, and being awoken at night due to notifications are just some of these stressors that come with having a phone. It's no surprise then that Time Magazine's Kevin McSpadden reported that you now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. In 2000, the average human's attention span was 12 seconds. In 2013, it was measured to be 8 seconds, and the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. It was actually inferred that this change in attention span was linked to the overuse of technology with humans, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, how could we retain that high of an attention span when we're on our phones all the time and apps and notifications are constantly popping up that distract us from whatever we're doing? And this problem not only affects our relationships with ourselves, but also our relationships with other people. Cell phone usage is known to lead to selfishness. Alexandra Sifferlin of Time Magazine released the article, Is Your Cell Phone Making You a Jerk? In 2015. It's known to be linked to a decrease in pro-social behavior, which basically means that humans are less likely to be nice to one another when we've been on our phone for a while. It's human nature to talk and connect with each other, but once this need is met through connecting with people with our phones or just playing games on our phones even, we don't need to do it in person. And it seems extreme, but it actually makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's not that uncommon to walk down the street and pull out your phone in order to avoid eye contact with the homeless man sitting on the sidewalk. And the Daily Beast author Abby Higledge also released an article known as What to Answer, Your Cell Phone or Your Wife? Cell phone addiction causes damage to social, romantic, and work relationships. From a study done of over 2,000 people, 89% reported damaged relationships due to their loved ones ignoring them for technology. And 63% of people reported abusing technology at their workplaces, 67% used technology at the dinner table, 52% during customer service interactions, 35% while at church or in place of worship, and 93% while driving. What starts out as a simple distraction during the workday leads to high tensions with your relationships with loved ones and actually ends up being the cause of over 1.6 million car accidents per year, which is incredibly dangerous. Now, obviously, there's no point in trying to stop progress because it helps so many people, and we're so lucky to be able to have such advanced technology, but the world will become a pretty scary place if it keeps being misused. There was a study done by author and psychologist Adam Alter that states that kids who spend less time on their parents' phones and iPads when they're younger are significantly better at picking up emotional and nonverbal cues than kids who spend a lot of time on iPhones and iPads and all of those devices. This will probably inevitably lead to younger generations having social issues, but what's even scarier is that it actually puts a stop to our human instincts of empathy. It's human nature to look at each other and read each other's emotions and act on them, and when technology is stopping us from doing that, I think that's pretty scary. We grew up in this world, our little siblings grew up in this world, and our children will probably grow up in this world too, unless we change it. I've been making it a goal of mine to put my phone away or on silent when I'm hanging out with my friends or with my family, but it's obviously not, it's easier said than done. I recently downloaded an app, which is super counterintuitive, but I downloaded an app called Moment that tells me how often I use my phone throughout the day. I was horrified to find out that within the first day of using it, I had picked up my phone 45 times, and the screen had been active for an hour and a half by noon. Now, in my defense, I had to wake up early, so I set 10 alarms, but it still really scared me that I was on my phone that much and didn't even know it. And what's awesome about this app is that it motivates you to go on your phone less, and even has a time setting that can limit the amount of time you spend on certain apps or just on your phone in general. So if you're freaked out about this at all and want to stop using your phone so much, I definitely urge you to download this app because it has helped me a lot personally. And there was an app made by 2 Chico State graduates that actually is geared towards college students specifically. So Pocket Points, basically, it it prompts students to use their phone less throughout the day by offering the incentives of discounts at restaurants and stores around SLO. So basically how the app works is that the GPS services turn on once you reach campus, and the discounts become higher the more amount of time you spend off of your phone. But besides these apps, we can also just turn our phones off and put them away when we don't need them. That hour and a half or 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever is really, really going to add up in the long run, which is scary to think about. When we grow old, we'll want to remember the time doing the things that we love and the time we spent with our families. And obviously, calling our relatives and friends who live far away is probably going to be one of my most cherished memories, but I guarantee you our most liked Instagram, our longest Snapchat streak, and our high score on Candy Crush is going to matter a lot less than we think it does. So go do yourself a favor and put your phone away next time you hang out with your friends, and go buy a couple disposable cameras or something. They take better pictures anyway.
Phil, how